Leathernecks a little bit and then take questions.
Yeah, excited for another week. Really, our process here doesn't change. Really, win or lose. It's back to the same process of preparation, and we got to have a great week of practice. I'm excited for our guys going on the road and getting a tough win, but in our league, you can't we can't be thinking about that. We got to be hungry to go get another one. Excited to get back at home where we haven't won yet this year, and we've talked about that. We got to play well at home, and we're playing a great football team. Really, I really respect the heck out of Coach Elliott. I think he's a great coach, great person, and he's done a great job in his first year. They got a senior-led team. Defensively, it's probably the best defensive group maybe that we've played all year long. I mean, Saunders, 99's, in my opinion, the best defensive lineman in our league, and maybe I haven't seen one that plays as good as him maybe in the country. I mean, he makes plays all over the place, probably playing on Sundays next year. 50 is really good. Moon, 39, is really good. They're just led by a senior-led group that's played in the playoffs, played a lot of football together. And then offensively, a really good quarterback that's played a ton of games and as experienced as anybody in our league. He's tough. He'll run it. He'll stand in there. He's no doubt their leader. Five's as good at back, explosive at back. For whatever reason, it seems like we play, the team that Western had played really all year long. And so we've seen a ton of them on film on both sides of the ball all year long, preparing for other teams. And, Five has made some unbelievable plays all year where it's really just him out athleting people. He's got unbelievable speed, elite speed, and makes a lot of plays just out of nothing. And big receivers, they're a really good football team, and we've got to be ready to go, and we've got to prepare for that. So our guys will know that, and we'll have a good week of preparation starting tomorrow, and we're excited to get to work.
Is there something the win did for you that you really needed? The obvious. Yeah, maybe just the obvious stuff. I think that the guys just winning, is what you set out for. That winning feeling, that excitement, that celebrating together. Coming to work knowing that your preparation is validated. Of we went and finished the job, and we hadn't done that for 6 weeks in a row. So. But besides that, no, I think that it's I liked our guys coming in yesterday, the team meeting, our work yesterday, our lift, the same as the previous 6 weeks. Obviously, you feel a little bit better, in your gut, and when you come to work and you're watching those things that you got to get better from, after a win than a loss, but there's a lot of things that we could have corrected on Saturday to play even better. Both sides of the ball, special teams, things that we've got to continue to coach and emphasize and get better from. So, but it's always, a different feeling when you come in on Sundays and you go to practice, after a win. But we've got to put that behind us, and we've got to, like I told them, it should make you hungry to know that if you go and you do the things that you have to do, then we still got 3 to play, and we can have that same feeling on Saturday, but it's just not given. You got to go earn it. Did you need it to stay together? Was it get tougher to stay together, loss after loss? Yeah,
I think that not to stay together. I think that this team would have stayed together regardless. But, yeah, anytime you're talking about leading 18 to 22-year-old guys and you put in a ton of work, you want to be rewarded at the end. And so but our process wouldn't have changed. If I was set up here and we would have got beat on Saturday, the message and the to our guys wouldn't have changed. We'll continue to lead these guys, and our coaches have to model the way, and we have to put our nose down and keep working, and that won't change this week either.
You've had to replace two different quarterbacks. One, ironically, is the one you just replaced with another guy. How do you approach that? You know, for Strahm to have like 2,500 yards, how do you approach a guy like that and say, hey, you're sitting down, we're playing somebody else, when he could have had, 500 more yards probably?
Yeah, the same thing. You mean going back from a couple years ago?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. When Strahm.
Yeah, it's yards, stats, those things are really irrelevant. It's the win-loss column. It's about, and that really is it. That's what you have to do at the quarterback.
That's what you argue. Tell your.
Yeah, when we talk in, we talk about a lot of things, but yeah, handle it professionally, and you have to re-earn your job every single week, and we've talked about that, the last couple of weeks, with Matt playing, and Matt's been doing a good job for us.
How well did your offensive line grade out?
Pretty good. Aaron Harris has done a really good job coming in and playing the last 2 weeks. I'm happy for Aaron. Played well at center against Indiana State. We ran the football as well in that game, and then we ran it again, on Saturday, and he moved to guard. And then, getting Martin back, and then Big Z, we really challenged Xavion after Illinois State, which all of us didn't play well. But up front, I didn't think we played well at all, and challenged those guys. And Xavion went from having probably his worst game of his career to now having his best too. So those guys have gotten better up front, playing together, just having the physical mindset, and Ernest probably leads that group every single week, has played solid football, and Ben Bailey. So I thought they did a solid job. I thought, especially in pass pro, Matt doesn't get set. He gets out of some things, with his athletic ability. Had to pull the one down and took the sack for a loss of 1 yard, I think, on Saturday. But for the most part, we've been doing a solid job up front.
With the center is kind of like the quarterback for the line, pretty much, isn't he? Does he do a lot of adjusting?
Yeah.
So having Myron out kind of hurt quite a bit because he's a veteran.
Yeah, he is. But that's what we talked about. Aaron stepped in and did a good job, and then we got Martin back. Podolinsky will be out for the season, which would end his Saluki career, and really can't say enough about Josh Podolinsky. He'll go down as a great Saluki, really, and a leader. What you want when you recruit a kid and comes here and handles his business off the field, represents the program, the university. He'll go on and be everything that he wants to do. He'll be successful. I hate it for him because he's got the right attitude. He came out and practiced on Tuesday with a big club on his hand, and we thought it would be tough for him to be able. He's going to have wrist surgery, tore ligaments in his wrist. The x-rays came back negative, so he was like, all right, I'm going. Put a big club on it, which is tough to do as an offensive lineman, not being able to play with your hands. And we thought that maybe he'd sit out for a couple weeks, but then they got the MRI results, and it's time he'll have surgery this week. So hate it for Podge. Those other guys will step in, but really Podge has done a great job being a senior leader. He's done a great job in his 5-year career here.
Have you stuck with those 5 starters most of the game, Coach, or have you played Lucas Davis a lot?
No, Lucas has played some this season. Whenever Ernest came out at Youngstown with the concussion early, so he got a lot of valuable reps there in that game against a good defensive line. Ben has come out of a couple games. Wags has played a couple, and sparingly in a couple games when Ben has been dinged up and pulled out of a couple series in a couple different games. But for the most part, no, we stick with those guys. We don't have a rotation going, as far as, hey, we're going to play these guys a few series. Those guys have settled in, and the other guys will be ready to go if called upon for injury.
Talk a little bit about Patterson. That's amazing that he's really not played any of safety before. you started?
Yeah, I mean Joe's done a great job stepping in and playing. You know, that's what we kind of talk about. You never know when your number's going to be called, and Joe's has been called. He did a great job. I mean, this is, you know, in training camp we saw it kind of coming in spring where he could be a pretty good player, and he's really you know, he's gotten a ton of reps. He hasn't come out of the game the last couple of weeks, and he plays hard. He's a great kid. He came here as a receiver, but he had background of playing DB in high school, which a lot of kids do if you're a skill player.
He's always around the action.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I thought
he's not very big, but he's always there.
No, I thought he did a good job on Saturday. You know, a couple balls that were caught were really well contested, and he was there. And the kid made an unbelievable play over on the sideline there on the 4th and 5 touchdown, diving out of bounds and dragging his foot in. Joe was in coverage on that, but had him, you know, covered up. That kid made a great play. It was really the only place the ball could be too. And so Joe's been doing a good job, and looking forward to him continue to progress here because he's still, you know, a young player in our program.
Was Quay able to work out yesterday?
Yeah, Quay's just got to, you know, he's got to, hopefully he'll get going this week in practice. You know, he's got to dressed for the game, wasn't able to go. Was out there doing some things yesterday, and, you know, it's their day off today, and I'd like to see Quay get out there and have a good week of practice.
Chin, corner or safety, Nick, two-part question. What's better for him long-term? What position? And what's better for your program this year and next year? Is it better for him to be a corner or a safety?
You know, probably at safety, you know, is
for your team.
yeah, for our team. Him doing a little bit of both. I mean, he's proven. Yesterday was the first day he lined up, or Saturday at corner. So, you know, he's such a smart, intelligent player, getting everybody lined up. You can probably lead better at the safety position as far as being trustworthy, making sure the calls are right, him getting everything. So you can do that better at safety. Now he creates some problems with his length and size and everything at corner. I going forward as far as the NFL goes, I think just his versatility. You know, you get called upon throughout your career in the NFL, unless you're just a lockdown corner getting paid a lot of money, then you're going to be asked to do a lot of things. So his versatility, you know, Northern Iowa had a kid that was drafted by the Bears 2 years ago that did a lot of that. You know, for 2 years he started at safety, then we saw him start an entire year at corner, and then his senior year he was asked to do both midway through the year. I went up to training camp this past year. He's done the same thing for the Bears. When asked to be a corner, he'll fill in at corner, his true spots at safety, and Jeremy's body size and stuff reminds me a lot of that kid.
Their alignment, do they blitz a lot more than other teams, Western Illinois? Or
No, not necessarily. They're not a huge blitz team. They do some things, some line stunts and line games. Don't do a lot of things to, you know, trick you. Nobody really does in this league, but talent-wise, they've got some talented players that make plays. 99 makes more plays that are not blitzes or something trying to design him to get free. Just physically beats a lot of people. I mean, he plays. He's got a motor. He's got quickness. Heck, he caught a touchdown pass this year, a 2-point conversion, and he looks like a athletic fullback out in the flat. Makes a heck of a catch. He's a really good player. And then 50 is a really good player that's played a lot of football. And they pressure the quarterback. They get to him a lot. They made some plays. Last week they got the safety with the strip sack on Northern Iowa. Really, if you look at that game, Northern Iowa's in the red zone. I think 4 times they don't come away with points. Missed field goal, had some missed opportunities. But they're a team that plays good, solid football all around. Really, if you look at all of their games going back to Montana State, they've been close games all the way through, and then the games that they've won, they've found a way to get takeaways and make big plays. I mean, Fives made some unbelievable plays for him. The quarterback's played well. He can make every throw. The turnover margin will be big. Last week it was for us. We didn't turn it over.
we got points on defense, and then we got, a turnover that led to, points 2 plays later. In their games, it's been that way too. They've been hurting the games that they've gotten beat by turning the ball over. North Dakota State turned them over quite a bit. They grinded out a win, and then so just like every week, we've talked about that since week 1. I mean, the turnover margin will be big.
You mentioned McShane. He's made a lot of big plays, a lot of different areas. He's also the leading receiver. Is it simply you can't forget about him when he comes out of the backfield, or what? How do you keep a guy like that in front of you?
Yeah, they move him around a lot. They do a good job. You'll see a million different types of jet sweeps. He'll be at a receiver, get jet sweeps. He'll line up in the backfield, and they'll jet sweep. Rakovich, 25, is a heck of a player. He was here on an official visit when I first got the job. I love that kid coming. He reminded me of DeSomer coming out of high school because he played quarterback strictly, and he wanted to play quarterback, and then they've made him into kind of the Swiss Army knife up there. He plays fullback, running back, receiver. I think he's got 34 catches on the year. He's a really good player. So you'll see more so than any game this year, a lot of motions, shifts, jet sweeps, trying to get different people the football, play actions off that, and then McShane catches a lot of screens off the misdirection. A lot of his receiving yards are screens. Against Missouri State, it counts as a passing yards, which definitely helps that. But he takes this little shovel pass, 80 yards, I think it was 80 yards for the touchdown to end the game 2 weeks ago. So they do a lot of little ways to get him the football. Jet sweeps and screens is the main way, and then he's a good. I mean, he could play slot receiver a lot like DJ Davis. I mean, he could go out there and play wide receiver if he needed to.
I peeked at Todd's list here. 99 is a nose tackle.
Yeah, plays. Yeah, inside interior D line.
Can you explain then, defensive coordinator and a position coach down to a player or two, what extra measures or special measures do you take to get your players prepared for him?
You mean how are we going to prepare for 99?
Yep.
Well, you got to. I mean, we're in week 9 of the season. We've played against him for he's been there for 5 years. So we know who he is. We've played a lot of these guys have blocked him before. We played him last year, played him the year before that. Watch him on film, look at his tendencies. Try to do a good job, and we're not going to change what we do, and we've got to go block him, and we got the guys to do that. He's just a heck of a football player. So it's just like any other game. Every team's got players that create different challenges for your team that you got to study them. You got to go out there and practice well. You've got to play with great technique. You got to play with great physicality against a guy that's really physical and really athletic, uses his hands well. So, if you're trying to get them ready on Tuesday and Wednesday and then Thursday, we're in spider pads, then it's too late. You got to revert back to all your training and your technique and those type of things to play well against a good player.
Because it seems to me you're a pretty good scout. You kind of warned us about Illinois State's running back. He was good.
Yeah, I mean, that's. So
I'm going to watch 99.
Yeah, I don't think that's everybody can watch that and see that. I mean, 99 has proven to be a really elite player. He's a special player in this league, and be glad whenever next year comes and he's not around anymore. But he's a good player. He does it the right way. He plays extremely hard, and that's what you got to have. That's the first thing to be a great defensive lineman. You got to have a motor. And tell our guys if that's the number one compliment, and that kid's playing hard all the time, chasing plays down, above average athletic ability for a big guy like he is.
Do you think you'll get Darrell James back this week and Madre Harper?
Yeah, Madre Harper and Darrell, we suspended for a week for disciplinary issues, and that'll be kind of to be determined how the week goes for them this week. So they'll get their opportunity to be back. We'll meet with them, and but that'll be kind of up to them how the week goes for the game on Saturday.
Okay, is there anything else?
All right, appreciate it.